Good morning. I thought I'd do a little impromptu stream. Why not? Why not just do all of this? Just show how incompetent I am to everyone as I work. Yeah, why have any mystery? Let's just put it all on the table. All right. So if you saw the stream yesterday, we were doing the encyclopedia. We also looked at performance. The game runs pretty well until about 17 minutes, but then it starts to get a bit crazy. And I don't really know why it runs so slow. I actually have a couple ideas. I think it might be more to do with the items than the units. So it's just me being a self-taught amateur programmer. But yeah, here we go. We made our encyclopedia. So it's just very simple, nothing too flashy. A place to see information, and the idea is we'll be able to right click on any object and it will take us to something, so we can look at Sean and we can see the information about Sean, how much HP and speed he has, and we can also see what upgrades he starts with, and we can actually click on that and get straight to it. He has a soldier is a melee fighter with decent health. I need to fill out this part here, so we just need more information about these units, although to be honest, HP and speed, that's actually the only variables. So actually this one's fine, and then yeah, we can click on the sword. We do need to see more variables for the sword. So yeah, and that's the plan today. Let's try and do this encyclopedia. So open up. Just starting for the day. I'll just post somewhere that that's fine. I didn't tell anyone I'm streaming. I just thought I'd go ahead and do it because, you know, nice to have these things up. I wonder if the mic should be closer to me somehow. Maybe if I... This is the real life of a game dev. Okay, so this is under here. There we go. Did I really? I thought I had it plugged into the other part. Okay, well, never mind. This works. So I have this over here. I think I need to get some kind of like mic mount because I think the issue is it's not quite close enough to me. But if there is anyone watching or listening, please do tell me. If you can't hear me, if there's any preferences for the setup or anything like that. Okay. There we are. Okay. So we have our... What are we looking at here? We want to make it... I'll just close a bunch of these. Let's just tidy that up every now and then, and we want options. Because all of this is being run from the options menu. YouTube is not receiving enough video. Okay, don't know if there's an issue there. Can I change a setting? No, I think I probably just need better internet. I'm getting 2 bars of Wi-Fi. I need to get the internet piped into my room up here. And is there any way I can make that easier? Not really. Okay, so let's close this. Hopefully that should improve. This my little mystery triangle. Yeah, maybe if that's a bit higher. Oof, it's gone down to 1 bar. Oh well, never mind. This is true indie. None of this Expedition 33 nonsense. Apparently that's up for an indie award. I just think that's insane. These are sort of professional developers. It's like saying, it would be like saying like Andre Agassi. I don't know tennis players, but it's like saying Ronaldo is an independent, is like a hobbyist footballer if he lost his sponsors, right? Like if Ronaldo stopped playing for Manchester United and started a new team with like Ronaldinho and all the other Ronalds, then that's an indie, that's like an amateur team, and that they can compete in the amateur leagues. I just don't think that's that. So yeah, this is real indie. We make mistakes here. We're chaotic. Okay, so we are. So if we open upgrade, and when we open an upgrade, if it is a weapon, we want to see the damage. We want to see the speed. So let's open weapons, and just to remind myself. Let's just remind myself. Of what weapons I have, of what a weapon has. So I believe that's at the top here. No, is that at the bottom? What is a weapon? A weapon has a name, or has a series of names, because that has names in different languages. It has damage. So I'm going to pop that over here. Sadly, you won't be able to see it, but you can just see that I'm referencing this list. So I'm just going to shrink that over and move it over to the second screen. And so, yeah, the names is already accounted for. The description's already accounted for. So we want to see the damage. We want to see attack speed. Let's call that attack speed. This will need translating at some point as well, but this is fine for now. We also need to see its range. We also need to see, so yeah, range, AoE. Every weapon, except for like projectiles, has AoE, but then it's nice to just have that there. Well, like an arrow doesn't have any AoE, but a dagger does have AoE. Okay, knockback. Okay, so knockback is one of those ones. Yeah, I think every weapon can be thought of having knockback, and every weapon can be thought of as having crit for sure. There is no sort of distinction between, I mean, there is no crit damage as a stat. It's just crit rate. If you max out, if you overmax your crit rate, you just have 100% chance to crit. There's no, it's not like Mega Bonk where if your crit rate exceeds 100%, you do super crits. That doesn't work like that in this game. But then we've got some of the more niche stuff. Okay, so that's all the basics. Yeah, that's all the basics. And then we've got the more complicated ones. So weapon damage to string, weapon attack speed. So we need to keep on with this. And unfortunately, I don't think it just continues. I can't just press space to do some of the typing for me. So yeah, this works. So upgrade dot. Yeah, range. Sorry, upgrade.weapon.range. I'm going to start copy pasting these so it's a bit easier. And here we actually do want, it rounded to the decimals. I think there's no weapons that use a decimal for damage, but there are some for attack speed and range. So yeah, let's keep up with that. And we want to just keep copying and pasting this line essentially and changing what goes in there. So range, AoE, knockback, crit rate, AoE, oh no, range, genius moments, AoE, knockback, crit rate. And that's that. Okay, so what we should see is it's telling us that. And then on the right side, we've got the more funky ones. So I'm just going to copy this over to this. So we have chain. Pierce. split. There's some weapons which are... There's other stats here. So we've got is boomerang, meaning if it's a boomerang, it's going to go out. Disconnected. Yeah, my internet is dismal. Oh well. This is all experimentation. Yeah, I think that should be better now. All right. I can see myself 3 times or twice. I'm recording and I've got the OBS and I've got the YouTube part and I can close other tabs. And yeah, need to get a better internet. Like I said, indie. I don't have enough money for a proper internet setup. So yeah, we have our attack type, which basically just tells how to attack, but I don't think the player needs to worry about that. Heal is sort of clear because it's more to do with targeting. The heal has like, so the heal has a negative damage value, and hopefully that explains that this weapon heals rather than does damage. So then we've got the sprite attack sound. The player doesn't need to know about this. The buff is important, and I need to think about how do I explain the buff? So do we need every detail about the buff? So if I say that, for example, the weapon, the banner, buffs all nearby units, so it has an AoE, and it gives a buff. I think the easiest way is for that to come through in the description. So we're explaining, it comes through in the description rather than me listing out each buff and the effects of that buff as a separate thing. I don't think that's efficient use of my time. So we can fill this in like this, and we want to say chain pierce split, and that's actually it. Yeah, like that. Okay. So we can delete most of these. And these. There we are. Yeah, it's funny. It goes from saying excellent connection to we can't even give, you're not even sending us a video. Well, okay. So let's close that. And there's no reason to think this won't work. But let's go in and test and see that that's all displaying properly. Let's look at my to-do list. So yeah, when we say I want to say not faction.color. No, what is it? There we go. Weapon color, ally color, talent color. It's going to be very, very lazy and inefficient, but very fast. And I'm just going to copy these over here so that we also have access to these. If this would be awkward in case I wanted to change these colors. I would have to change it in 2 places now. What I should do is store it somewhere as like, so I would have like a thing called colors, and this would list all the colors we're using in the game. I think for now, I just want to get it done. We can sort that out later if it's necessary. I know I might be creating more work for future me, but it actually also at the same time, it may never come up. So this is fine for now. Focus on the thing you're trying to do. It's very easy to get sidetracked. It's like playing RuneScape or something where you're like, oh, I need to do this. And then you find in order to do that in the most efficient way, you will end up doing something else first. And that's fine if you're just mucking around. But if you're actually trying to get something done, it's best to just focus on the thing you're trying to do and make everything bend to that. And then, I mean, everyone's going to have different preferences. But, okay, so I want the colors to be not faction.color. If it is a, yeah, if it's a faction, then yeah, faction.color. But not if it's, yeah, so for each faction. But then if we're clicking on heroes, yeah, that's also faction. But weapons, I actually want it to be weapon color, right? And if it's an upgrade, yeah, this would be just to stay consistent. Ally color. And then this is opening factions. So when we open a faction, okay, yes, so it should be different for each one, so we get a nice little spray of color. So the heroes should be faction.color. There's a bit of an awkward thing because basically the ally color is the same as the color for the human faction is the same as the color for an ally, which is a bit awkward, but I think it's fine. So heroes faction.color, weapons is weapon color, talent color, and ally color. Okay. More instances of faction.color. So this is when we show the upgrades. And yeah, here we actually need to like so if upgrade is weapon, else, and I know I should do like a switch or something, but it's just the way it works. Because it's quite awkward the way it decides if it's a weapon or not. It's like I can say, oh, this weapon is null. Actually, sometimes it reads a null weapon as a weapon with all of the fields empty, which is not null, right? It will give me, I'll say, is this null? And it will say, no, it's not null. It's just an empty weapon, which is not how I hoped it would work, but that's how it worked. If ally is null, upgrade dot so it's quite simple. If it's a weapon, then it should be weapon color. If it's an ally, it should be ally color, and otherwise it should be a talent color. Okay, and there's one more instance here. Okay, yeah, and we actually just want to copy that over. That's against general programming principles, but like, because we've just repeated ourselves here, but it's not a big deal. Okay. That's all the instances of that, and then the other little minor thing I wanted to do. So button colors, full stats for weapons, allies, and buffs. Yeah, so the allies is fine, the weapons is fine. I may have missed a couple things, but that'll do for now. Weapon button overlappings, and then yeah, the last little thing, very minor. Here we are, upgrade. Yeah, I just want to get rid of that. And we don't need that. We are looking over here and we just want to stop these from overlapping. So we will take our, which buttons is it? Let me just have a look and see, and I should be able to see it. Options, encyclopedia page, and then we've got this one, encyclopedia back button. should, I think, be a little bit further to the left, just to make some space. I think this resume button, see, it's anchored to the bottom right, so when it animates, it kind of grows that way, which I don't think is intuitive. Also, hold on. I feel like if this is below, so what happens is when we the resume button, yeah. So when we highlight it, it sort of seems to come. Yeah, so I think this just needs to be here, and also, I don't know if it's really good that it grows. So basically, when we animate it. It grows like that when really I think we want it to be more growing from the middle. So if we just set the anchor to be in the center, and then when we, so that would be the pivot then, 0.5, so that when we highlight it and when it grows, it just kind of grows from the center rather than anywhere else. So yeah, and this is now successfully above. And we want to do the same thing. We want to say the pivot is in the middle. And that should work. And I think we're basically there. I think this is, this isn't meant to be the most beautiful thing in the world. It's just in case you did want to know exactly how much HP does a unit have, how much damage is, because in the game, it gives you a very quick overview description. It will say this weapon does some damage, this weapon does good damage, this weapon does bad damage, or something like that. And you might want to know exactly how much we're talking about. So yeah, this looks good. And yeah, Allies actually is a different blue to the faction, so that's good. Okay. So we have Sean, and yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. And that looks good. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, that works well. I mean, nothing crazy, but just for people who do care about the numbers, because I can say, oh, the sword has a little bit of crit rate, or the sword has some knockback. It's this basic melee weapon. That's all it says. But as you can see, the knockback has gone up, the range, the AoE has gone up, and the players might want to see that. Personally, I prefer players just to not have to worry about that. But it is nice that they can if they want to. And then talents increases. It just gives you all the information. Lovely. So that works. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. I could probably maybe I should change this scroll wheel because this scroll bar because it is very default Unity. But I think this works fine. I'll leave it for now, because I kind of want to move on. So, and then I'll put in my log. And you can see all my to-do list. So in my log, I'll put added an in-game encyclopedia. Yeah. Okay, what I want to do now is make it so that when I want to make it so that if I right click on certain things, then it opens it in the encyclopedia. I think we have have I done this? I think I started doing this earlier. Here we are. Right click. Okay, no. Oh yeah, I made this earlier. So I started making this this thing, but it didn't really. I don't think I did it very well. Okay, so we can kind of get rid of this info panel. but I can search, because I feel like I did some code to like open it. Yeah, here we go, level up button, press 2. And yeah, I think we can just get rid of info panel. Yeah, no, we don't want that. Okay, so when we do that, press 2, we want to use this encyclopedia thing. So if I right click on a level up button, if I right click, open upgrade, right? That I mean, that should work, but we also need to pause the game if it's not paused already. So we'll just say gm.paused true. And then we say timescale 0. Is that really what we want to do? I might need to double check that. We might not want to do that. We might want to avoid doing that. Let's see. Let's just see if it breaks the game. And then we open the upgrade, but we also need to open options. So let's just see if that works. We didn't actually set anything up there. So press 2 doesn't appear anywhere. Okay, I need to look this up because I don't actually remember how to do it. Unity, right click, UI button. Why is it so hard to figure this stuff out? Because I know it's just something like event systems. I've done it before. It's not intuitive. It's a button. There should be like something, right click, left click, middle click, any click, you know? Hover over it and press 3. Like it could be easy. It really could be easy. Detect, right click. Yeah, just all these things. Maybe because streaming is eating all my upload speed, but come on. Like, why can't I have Unity? Dearie dear. Yeah, I mean, I think my internet's not really working while I'm uploading, but I just don't understand why this has to be so difficult to figure out. Okay, I'm actually just going to look in one of my other games, because this is just ridiculous. I really don't understand. Like, you've got on click to like add listener. Could we not just have add listener too? Would that be difficult? Would that not be a little bit more intuitive? Because I know what it has to be is. So I'm just going to search in this other project. Here we are. Okay, I've got a right click, but it's not for UI. Very, very silly. Why is this so hard to figure out how to do? Detecting right mouse button. There we go. Input. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. There we go. So it's something. We go on point and click. And if we say it's a right click. Then press 2. Like, event dot button is equal to, like, that's not intuitive. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like I just get annoyed every time I have to do this, because I just feel like really, does this not come up very often? Do people not right click things? Can't it, like, it's a button. Why can't the button be pressed in more than one way? Okay, no, I want to keep that there. I don't want to move that. But we do want to collapse it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Yeah, tell me, is it just me? Why could figuring out how to do a right click in Unity not be a little bit easier? Could they not have streamlined that just a little bit? Okay, so when we level up, nothing happens. Okay, let's see. So we have level up UI button. Yeah, let's do that debug.log. Why isn't that working? So just nada, nothing, doesn't work. Right clicking a button. Yeah, I had it in interrogation simulator. So let's. It's just ridiculous to me. Like, I was gonna plug the somewhere else. Yeah, it just feels ridiculous to me that, like, utterly ridiculous. That it can't just be a simple matter of like why is it so difficult? I mean, it's not that difficult, but why is it not built in to just handle a right click on a UI object in the same way that we handle a left click? Really don't understand. Okay, so now if I open, for God's sake, projects. Really annoys me. Because it could be simple. It just could be simple. But like, no, I have to do all of this mucking around, and it's not even simple to look it up online. Just why? Why? There we go. Is that the issue? So what is the difference? Ah, it's that. Of course. How could I possibly make that mistake? I need to add this here. Like, it just really doesn't need to be this complicated at all. Just Sorry, I know I get salty. It just annoys me because it's like, why is this not easier to do? It's such a common thing. It's such a useful thing. What I want to do with a right click is just the exact same. Why can't I just add listener for a right click instead of a left click? So. There we go. No. We're part of the way there. We're part of the way there. It has opened up the encyclopedia. Okay, we can close this. I mean, the main thing is it has registered that I right-clicked it. Let me just double check that's not a... Yeah. Okay, so it's opening... When we right click it opens encyclopedia open and why isn't it opening the upgrade? Maybe what we should do is just do another check here for so we just want to scroll view rect.game up. We'll just do another one of these. I think that might be the issue. Surprised it's not already in here. Okay, well, never mind. So it's true, and if we are indeed opening an upgrade, that is what should happen. I'm shocked at how long this took. Like, maybe I should just know. Maybe I should just remember. Oh, what do you mean? Don't be silly. It's your pointer data. Of course you need to put IP pointer data next to mono behavior. And of course you need to put... You remember how it works for the left click. Why don't you remember how it works for the right click? Maybe that's it. Maybe it is. I mean, 90% of the time it is me that's the problem, I suppose. The computer is always right. I feel like this could have taken 1 minute instead of 10. That's exactly what I want. So that's lovely. So when I see an upgrade, I can just right click it and open up a page. That felt a bit weird. Oh, okay. One thing I need to do is whenever we open this page, yeah, this works nicely. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Right click to properly examine an upgrade. Could we go further than that? Could we make it so that you could click on an enemy in the field and see all of their stats? Do we need to know the stats of the goblins? Do we need to know about all their weapons and things like that? I guess it would be nice. So, could we click on them here and get it? No. That would mean I'd have to put the options menu there, and I don't want to do that. The aim is simply... So I could make it that you just click on the goblin like that. But the thing is... Yeah, no, that works fine. And then I need to put in the tutorial message. So that's generally in GM. I think it's an HUD actually. This is where we put this stuff. And actually I think I can put it in an existing one. There we go. And we just need to add right click on any upgrade for more details. And that would need translating, so I'm just going to add that as in my notes of things to translate. Right. Upgrade scene. Okay, right click to properly examine an upgrade. We can go further with that later, but I am kind of keen just to move on. Okay, the next thing is some drawing. This should be fun. So we have our... I have changed the game. So before you had meteors and blizzards, and while they kind of looked cool, they didn't really work for this game. You can't really tell that they're happening. It's a bit hard to spot, and it just didn't feel good. And I thought what made more sense for this game would be our time magic and space magic. So, have we actually done that properly? Yeah, okay. So time magic. Oh, it'd be cool if they all had an after effect, but yeah, let's see about that. So we need to find talents. And yeah, I mean, what should it look like? I haven't even thought about this yet. What would it look like? I mean, we know that it will probably look like a clock. But like a clock, like dashing in. I'm not going to overthink it. With a sort of very light blue kind of color. And the time. That sort of works. We're not, the bar is pretty low. But yeah, that's time magic, right? Okay. And another one, which is space magic. I guess we could do like a full, like a sort of black screen with some stars in it. It's space, right? Let's do some stars. And then in the middle, like a sun or something like that. So like a how do you? Yeah, I mean it's space magic. We want to just see space, so that's some stars. Yeah, like a planet, like a ring planet. Right? Just just like a ring planet. You can tell art isn't my strong point. So yeah, if we went for the same sort of magic color and did our little sort of optimal circle with, doesn't matter the color now, just as long as it's different, and I'll just draw like that. That'll do. Again, nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. Okay. Now we need to go into Unity, find that. This is another one that really annoys me. Why? Why is it like this? Like, why if I've added to the bottom of my image, why would these all move down one? Like, what the space is? Why is the space added at the top in the sprite sheet? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. That doesn't make any sense. What sense does that make? And I can't select multiple of them. I have to move them up one by one. Like, what was going, like, I mean, maybe they just haven't got around to it yet, but surely this has come up. Surely people have added to sprite sheets after the fact before. Surely this has happened before. Oh well, never mind. Maybe there's some settings somewhere that I haven't found which tells you, do you want it to add from the bottom or the top? But like, why is that even an issue? Am I supposed to have designed all of this stuff before I even start to put it into the game? Because that is not the best way to design, in my opinion. This is just incredibly tedious. Every time we add a new row, we have to move all of them up. Why can't you just add the space at the bottom? And yes, I would like to make it so that if you obtain both time magic and space magic, you could combine them into an upgrade, which would just break the game. Just that, like, if you manage that, you win, basically. So I don't know what that would do. Like, it would just mean that, like, your character creates black holes which just annihilate all the enemies or something. Okay, let's apply that. And then we go to our upgrades. And we find, yes, I know this is messy, Space Magic. It's actually easier to drag it. I don't actually need it for all 4. It's just in case if one day perhaps we were to enhance these sprites based on the level. But I kind of don't see that happening. Yeah, and I really need to make a note for like make combo. But that's a whole other thing, is having the tier 3 upgrades where it's like you combine upgrades that are already combined into something else, and those would just be like, yeah, if you manage to do that, you win the game basically. Okay, the sprites for the stages. So instead of having just the floor tile there, I think that's something I can visit later on, like once we've made all the stages. For now, I think just using a floor tile. So at the moment, the plains is denoted by some grass, and the ramparts is denoted by some bricks. Make explosions more. You know what? I think that's fine. Improve auras. Before I do that, I need to fix animation. But yeah, I felt like auras could be more visible. And yeah, we'll keep that note about make explosions more visible. There is some stuff I can do to graphics, basically. But before I touch that, actually, what I need to do is figure out why performance is tanking due to animation. Because I would rather they just don't animate if it's going to tank performance that much. I would rather they just be static objects moving around. Fix the ramparts animations. Yeah, so I actually did... So yeah, this is the problem of coming back to the project after a break. So the ladders and the hatches on the ramparts are supposed to animate. Again, I'm gonna put that on the later list because I need to figure out what's going on with animations and why they are so expensive. Chicken should drop more when HP is lower. So this is kind of cheating in game design, but we could say when we drop an item, so we got player.special chance, but we could also multiply that by how much HP we've got left. You know what? I'm gonna kind of stick to my guns and not do that. I feel like that's kind of cheating. So we could just say more chicken drops if you're doing badly, and that way people will have more fun because they'll be losing, but then they'll get just enough chicken and then they'll survive. But I think that's cheating. I think it should just be balanced. How would I do that? So I would say, so we'd have like a multiplier which would be 1. So float luck equals 1, or like luck mitigation, luck M equals 1. And then it would be like if HP is below, and then so luck M would be, how would we do that? HP out of 100, but like tapered. So luck M equals so we just say if HP if yeah, here we go. If player, do we not have like player stored? GM player. There we go. gm.c.player.hp .health. Again, I haven't been on this project for a while, but health. Yeah. If HP, gm.c.player. Less than, I don't know, 50. Is that like less than half of max HP, or let's say yeah, if you're below a third, you get a bit more luck. How about that? Equals 1.2, right? And then every time we drop one of these, so we just need to go through each one of these and multiply it by luck m. And then if we want to change it later, so yeah, this is again, this is not the best code in the world, but this works. Something like that. I could do a find and replace, but I'm just doing it. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing it correctly. Okay, that should work. That's that done then. And we can always roll it back if we don't like it. Okay, this one is definitely a later one. We have an issue with adding random buffs. I think I figured out what the problem is, but I should test it. Yeah, so random buff. Yeah, I figured out what the problem was. Where was that? Yeah. Human buff weapons. Okay, so I need to make a cheat to say Okay, let's test that out. It's just, yeah, I think it's not working because of changes to the way factions work. There was a time when this project felt very neat and tidy and simple. Sort of feels a little bit out of hand and big now. That's fine. Yeah, that seemed to just be working as intended. Okay. So whatever I did before did in fact fix it. And yeah, those are little warnings because those won't happen if it happens in a proper environment. Okay, it's just saying when I initialize the pools. Okay, text and fish random both done. Our projectiles going through shields, because yeah, it felt like when the arrow went through a character who with a shield, it sort of still did damage for some reason. Yeah, so it seems that we're sort of still doing the damage even if it's blocked. It shouldn't do. It should be returning to pool, but I think just in case we just return here. So if that happens, we don't do any of the next stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, I can see why that wasn't working. Okay. All right, so next thing on my list that I really want to deal with is animation. So why does the game freak out and say that there's too much animation happening? Like, why does the game slow down so much towards the end? I don't think it's down to just having too many characters on screen, because we have characters on screen. What it might be is having too many items on screen. I feel like that's what it is. So if I find my item prefab, item drop. See, I feel like that's it. It's because it's got an animator on it, and all of these items have an animator, and all of them are like... I think that's it. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's happening. So when we're on the item, so let's look at it. One thing I want to do, actually, and this is important anyway, is I need to make a button that basically fills, just creates a ton of units. So yeah, cheat. So we would say like a button that basically just does benchmark, right? So it would be the same as whatever we're doing to spawn units. And let's actually make a function for this. And then spawn 50 enemies. How do we spawn 50 enemies? Yeah, like spawn pack. Spawn. I think that's it though. I think it's because the item has an animator, and so when the item is created, and that's it. It's got always animate on. So culling should mean okay, and so yeah, and I need this test so I can test it. So all of these have an animator, and this is why one should use prefab variants. Because I think it's because there's too many like of these on screen, and for some reason they're like not. They do entry state. And then, like, I just want it to stop after that. The other thing I could do is not use the animator for that drop animation. But let's just... so we want this cheat to say when... So this will... big battle. And what big battle does... is creates a bunch of allies and creates a bunch of enemies. So we say enemy spawner dot spawn go gmc dot enemy spawner dot spawn pack. Doesn't have to be the tidiest code in the world because it is just a cheat. Pack's all private. Yeah, this can just be public, right? And I think that's it. I think it's because there's so many like items that are like off screen and they're not being culled. But I would think that like there's no animation, right? My assumption would be that if we go from entry, we do item drop, and then stop. Maybe we do need to create like an empty state. What does exit mean? Does exit mean stop? Animation. And then on the item itself, yeah. So that'll like play whenever it switches on. To like, and can we just make a non, like an idle? Motion, none, idle, and So I feel like this is like looping or something. But it shouldn't be looping. Like I don't see why this would be a problem. And so we have this transition. Yeah, no, let's just undo that. I mean, if it's an issue, okay, let's test this big battle button. Okay, but I think we actually need some enemies. So I mean that might have helped. Okay, I'm going to have to go away and come back to this. I need to see how the game actually performs, because there's a few things happening here. One is that my graphics card is going to be a bit done by me streaming and all that stuff, as well as using the profiler itself. And my computer is quite old. Like, I can't play a lot of modern games on it. And this game is a sort of tricky one. So yeah, I'll have to see, because I can't I can't figure out exactly what's wrong here. So yeah, we'll do yeah, okay. Alright, that clears my list then. Okay, I think I'm going to call the stream there. We did some stuff. Yeah, now I just need to do some translation, like translate all the bits that need. Or I'll probably leave that for later, actually. So yeah, I'll just, I'll be uploading this build, I think. All right then. So the first thing to do is in GM version 0.9. And put that on the title screen as well. And then, yeah, we need to do all that downloading, exporting and uploading and all of that. And yeah, I mean, subscribe if you like this. It's, you know, it's a bit slow, like I said. These last couple days been doing some pretty boring stuff, but yeah, it should be fun as we start making the undead faction, things like that. And yeah, really, any input you have on the design or things you'd like to see in the game, please let me know. And yeah, please wishlist the game if you enjoyed this. All right.